y'all feel like being messy, and the girls in Atlanta just gonna have to get me, okay? Why is the folks saying that the night of that tragic accident with Tamar, she was actually on a date booed up with Mendeecees? Yes, married Mendeecees, the one that's going through it right now on Love and Hip Hop for cheating on Yandy with all them women. Yes, they are saying that him and Tamar was holding hands, all canoodled up, booed up in the club. And that kind of corroborates Funky Dineva's story, because he did say it was at V12 at the club. And Funky Dineva said that he stopped seeing her. He left the club at around 1 o'clock. The person that I know said that they seen Tamar at the club and left out at around 12:58. They also said that everybody was saying they was going back to Tamar's house after the club, which also corroborates Funky Dineva's story, because he said that that's when he knew to throw up the deuces.
Now, I don't necessarily believe this, but obviously stranger things have happened in this world, so we'll just leave with that. So I received a text from one of my friends this morning asking if a certain article was true. And I'm not going to even hold y'all. I did see a TikToker talking about this a couple of days ago, but I literally just didn't pay no mind because I just didn't believe it, but I don't know. So we all know how apparently last Sunday, Tamar somehow woke up at her house in a pool of blood, teeth missing, she almost lost her life, and she don't know what happened, right? So it has come out allegedly that she was actually out with Yandy Smith's husband, Mendeecees, over there on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. Well, I don't even know if that's her husband, because didn't they it was all a lie in my Carly Red Boys. They didn't actually send off the marriage. I don't know. I haven't been watching the show, so I don't know if they eventually got married for her. I don't know. But supposedly Tamar was out with Mendeecees, looking real cozy and, allegedly she invited him and a group of people back to her house. And after that, it just gets blurry. The article also said that Funky Dineva confirmed it. I guess he confirmed that they were all hanging out. I don't know, but the running joke is that Yandy found out and sent her goons, and that's not funny. That's how Tamar ended up knocked out. I don't know, but what I do know is Tamar has definitely not been right since she broke up with him. Somebody pointed that out in the comments, and I feel like that is definitely true now. Her relationship with Vince obviously wasn't perfect, because I know she alleged abuse, or they might have both have alleged abuse. I know there was an incident with a ring finger. I don't know. So that relationship might not have been perfect in its own, but Tamar has definitely been on since her and Vince broke up. So you can do what you will with that information. Also, you know what I really think? I think this is a scheme that Todd set up to come to us with the bush.
The glittering world of love and hip-hop, Atlanta has always thrived on betrayal, scandal, and raw emotion. But what just unfolded between Yandy Smith, Mendeecees Harris, and Tamar Braxton may be one of the franchise's most explosive storylines to date. It's not just a messy rumor. It's a narrative that cuts to the very heart of loyalty, sacrifice, and public humiliation, leaving Yandy in tears and fans questioning everything they thought they knew about her marriage. To truly understand why this alleged affair has rattled the entire fan base, we need to rewind. Yandy Smith has never been just another cast member on Love and Hip Hop. She's been a symbol of resilience, the woman who held her family together through storms most people couldn't imagine. When Mendeecees was sentenced to prison, Yandy became the face of loyalty, showing up week after week to support her man while raising their children and building her own businesses. For years, she sold viewers the image of a woman who could juggle career, motherhood, and unwavering commitment to her marriage. That image, however, was always under pressure. When Mendeecees came home from prison, things weren't as picture perfect as they appeared. He publicly admitted in interviews that he wasn't sure if he would have stood by Yandy had the roles been reversed. That revelation cut deep for fans who had watched her sacrifice so much. It was a red flag, a sign that maybe Yandy's loyalty was one-sided, and that cracks were already forming beneath the polished exterior. Enter Tamar Braxton, known for her powerhouse voice, bold personality, and history of messy public relationships. Tamar has always been a magnet for attention. Over the years, she has built a reputation as someone who wears her heart on her sleeve, but also as someone never too far from from controversy. So, when Tamar's name began popping up in connection with Mendeecees, people didn't brush it off. The suspicion grew fast, and soon, whispers turned into headlines. Fans started dissecting everything. The events Tamar and Mendeecees were spotted at, the subtle exchanges online, even the body language in photos and videos. It didn't help that Tamar had previously been involved in dramatic relationship scandals, which made the rumor of her crossing the line with Mendeecees feel that much more believable to a gossip-hungry audience. For Yandy, though, this wasn't just another rumor in the blogs. This was personal. After years of standing strong and sacrificing her happiness to protect her marriage, the possibility that her husband had strayed with Tamar felt like a betrayal she could barely process. The breakdown happened in front of the cameras, and it was raw. Yandy, normally calm, composed, and business-minded, couldn't hold back the tears. She admitted that she had already been emotionally struggling, feeling disconnected from Mendeecees despite trying to keep their relationship afloat. She confessed that while she had once been his rock, she now felt abandoned and blindsided. It wasn't just about Tamar, it was about everything she had endured, only to feel like her loyalty wasn't respected. Mendeecees' reaction didn't help his case. He didn't outright deny the allegations, nor did he stand beside Yandy with the conviction of a man determined to clear his name. His silence, his hesitation, and his vague responses poured gasoline on the fire. In the court of public opinion, silence often equals guilt, and fans were quick to side-eye his every move. Tamar, meanwhile, tried to dismiss the claims. She denied any wrongdoing and framed the rumors as exaggerated nonsense. But the damage was already done. Once the audience saw Yandy's breakdown, the emotional weight of her tears made the scandal feel real, regardless of Tamar's denials. The ripple effects were immediate. Castmates began picking sides. Some defended Yandy, pointing out her years of sacrifice and loyalty. Others whispered that maybe the marriage had been on the rocks for a long time, and Tamar was just a match that lit a fire already burning. Social media exploded, with hashtags calling out Mendeecees, memes dragging Tamar, and endless debates about whether Yandy should finally walk away. But at the core of it all, Yandy's pain resonated. Fans weren't just watching another reality TV scandal. They were watching a woman who had built her brand on strength and loyalty crumble under the weight of betrayal. Her tears became symbolic of every woman who has ever given her all to a relationship, only to question whether it was ever appreciated. This alleged affair also sparked bigger conversations about trust and emotional fidelity. Yandy admitted she had stepped out emotionally in the past because she felt neglected by Mendeecees, which made the Tamar rumors cut even deeper. It wasn't just about sex or physical betrayal. It was about the emotional gap in their marriage, a gap that now seemed too wide to repair. As the fallout continues, one thing is clear. Yandy and Mendeecees' marriage will never be seen the same way again. Whether the Tamar affair was real or just a rumor, the fact that it exposed so many raw truths about their relationship has already changed the narrative. Yandy now faces the decision of whether to rebuild her marriage or finally put herself first after years of putting everyone else ahead of her own happiness. And as for Tamar, her name will forever be tied to this scandal, regardless of whether she was guilty or not. In the world of reality TV, perception is reality, and this scandal has cemented her as a key player in one of the biggest betrayals to ever rock love and hip-hop Atlanta. What started as whispers has now become a full-blown firestorm, and the fallout is far from over, with fans divided, cast members choosing sides, and Yandy's image as the loyal wife in ruins. The question now is simple. Can Yandy ever forgive Mendeecees? And can Tamar ever escape the shadow of this scandal? Or has this affair, real or not, destroyed bonds that can never be repaired?